Hello, my dears. My name is Thea, and if you're new to my channel, which you probably are because I just got started, then let me tell you, this is about spirituality, and it is about channeling what the All One, or so-called being or source of all that there is wanting to tell you about how to live a wonderful human life, but also about bigger issues, meaning what you should be aware of, what's happening on this planet. If you're interested in this kind of content, please say hello, give me comments, give us questions, which we love to answer for every single person, and subscribe. Today, this is going to be a very short video about self-worth. Self-worth is for many of you a very important topic. When you don't feel you value yourself, you also don't feel that other people value you. You behave in a way that others won't treat you as if you were valuable. And on top of that, if they do treat you or tell you how valuable you are, you won't believe them. So if you don't feel much self-worth, your life is not going to be a happy one, I can promise. And today I just want to give you a little help and a little recommendation of what you can do. And that is, try to see yourself from a higher perspective, a so-called review perspective, and as if you were basically sitting on top of a big building and you look at yourself as like a tiny, or not so tiny, but further away human being, and you see yourself in your life. Now, this seems to be very abstract, but I want to give you a little hint of what I mean, what kind of feeling you would get from this. Let's say you're over your 20s, so if you are 10 years old, it's not going to work so much. But if you're already over 20, then I just give you the recommendation. Think about yourself when you were like 10 or 8 or 12 or 14 years old. And then remember how you were trying, what you were learning, what music you listened to, how much in love you were, or you had pains about where you were in life and what you couldn't accomplish, or you were in a struggle with your parents or your brothers or sisters, or you had new friends and it was incredibly exciting, or you got your first bike, or whatever. Just remember vividly a scene of your life when you were a kid. Think about the music, maybe listen even to one of those songs, and just think about how corny it all was and whatever. And then what you will see is that suddenly from a distance it starts to look really sweet or beautiful or pathetic or whatever it does. But you know what? That person that is the hero of the story was you. And you kind of start to see yourself, and then you realize that you actually were giving it all you had, and you tried really hard, and you took yourself maybe too seriously, and it wasn't all great fun. You remember it wasn't, but from the distance you really start to see it wasn't all that bad. Actually, you realize there's like a certain glow over it, something incredibly lovable and beautiful. And now that it's over, you kind of start to cherish it and to hold it close to your heart, and maybe you get even a shiver when you listen to the stuff that you listen to, and it gives you these feelings, and you felt how young you were. And then you realize you weren't all that bad, and you are also not, you're not that bad. You're actually really something. There's something that's called the hero's journey. They say, write a book, there needs to be something like a hero's journey. And that means that your hero somehow has to have things happening to him or her. They have to struggle. And one good formula is, for example, the hero starts off and then he gets hit in the face, and he gets hit some more, and he gets hit some more, he gets dunked under, and he almost dies, and then it gets worse and worse and worse and worse for them. And they continue struggling, and they continue getting up on their feet, and they continue working hard, and somehow, and everything is lost already, and they still are doing it and doing it and doing it. And then somehow, at the very end, they kind of survive. And if you do that the right way, the readers are going to come with you, and they are going to, root for the hero. And now I want you to look at this past of your life a little bit like as if it was a hero's journey. And you were the hero. And you realized that all these trials and tribulations, and even if they were happening on the sofa and you didn't get much up, but you know what you've been through, you know what you had to fight with, even if you were eating chips, watching Netflix, I'm sure there's something that happened on your inside that only you know, and you give that some respect. And then you realize you don't have to do this about the past. Do one thing. Do it about the last year. It's now the end of 2024. And I want you to take this last year of yours and look at it from that perspective. What have you been through? What did you listen to? What was happening that nobody else saw? But you know what you did. Maybe you've been not proud of all of it. Maybe you can look at something that says, you know what? I really can respect that. And then also, you may think that nobody sees you. Nobody knows what you've been through. But I can attest that there is actually something in the back of your mind that is with you. I can promise you that because I'm in touch with this. And that knows everything about you. It knows the truth, it knows where you've been lying to yourself. But it also looks at you with the kindest compassion. And it roots for you. It says, it has something and sees in you more than you've seen yourself. And that being, there's a real personal being, is never going to let you down. Is never going to forget you. Is never going to let you down. And for that person, they might not have a body, but is always there and is everywhere. For that person, you really mean something. You really mean something. And it respects you. It might be quite critical. Believe me, it's not, you can't lie or cheat that person. No. You might cheat yourself, but that person is not being cheated. But it also respects you. And most of all, it values you. There is a reason that you are alive right now, walking on this planet. You have ancestors that go back to the beginning of time, and they always, every one of them had to make it, had to get through the worst things that you can imagine, disease and wars and genocide and whatnot, that you are here today. You are here because somebody values you and wants you to be here. And that person is seeing you. And how you can feel that you are worth something to yourself, most of all, before you can believe that you're worth to anybody else, I'm going to tell you more about in some of my future videos. So, to summarize, it's the end of 2024, and I give you a little exercise. Think about yourself when you were young, and look at yourself and realize the kind of compassion. My God, was I a little jokkele? I was a real little jokkele when I did all these things. And you realize you don't hate yourself so much, and you actually realize you've been through quite something, and you respect yourself for that. Now do that, feel it, You know, get yourself mainly into this feeling, you know, how you feel about this, and says, wow, that was actually me. And maybe nobody knows, but I do. And I'm telling you, there's somebody else who knows too. And now do this also for the last year. And that's what I mean with taking in a review perspective. A review perspective where you see yourself a bit out of a distance. And then you realize, you know, you are the hero of your own film here. Your film is your journey on this planet. And it's not an easy one, you know. And for that, you can give yourself some respect. Take care now. And I wish you a really happy start to 2025. And I would be very happy if you come back here and subscribe to my channel. You know, let me know what you'd like to listen to. Right now, I'm going to make more about self-worth. Take care. Bye-bye.